Alright there guys, and welcome back to the second channel. That's right, I'd never forgotten about it. I simply just have not had the time to make any content for this channel due to the fact the first half of this year I've been hyper focused on anime content, and since I can't do that anymore for reasons that I've explained in another video, gaming content has gone back to the main channel, so this channel stopped having regular content posted to it. But now I've got time again, I can finally get back to making a video for this channel. And I welcome you back to Real Talk. Real Talk episode 25. Little bit of a milestone episode, isn't it? 25 episodes of these. I've nearly been doing this for 5 years. Of course, my main channel turned 5 years old back in February, but this channel, well, my first Real Talk video on this channel was in November of 2017, nearly 5 years ago. And today's episode of Real Talk is going to be about self-confidence. And why I don't have too much of it. So there's two examples I have for why I don't have that much self-confidence. The first example comes in 2018. So I'm in college, and because I failed all of my exams at school, I'm having to resit maths and English, as anyone who failed maths and English at school would have to do. So the final mock exams came in, and I did really well. I got a 6 on my first paper, which a grade 6, because in the UK we don't have letters like A, B, C. We don't have that anymore. We've had numbers since 2017, since the exams of 2017. We've had numbers instead of letters, but they mean the same thing. A 6 is pushing for an A. Yeah, pushing for an A. I've never gotten an A in anything ever, and that was the closest I ever came to it. My second paper, because of course there's two papers, I got a 4, which is around a C. So putting those scores together and averaging them out, overall I got a 5. That's pushing on a B. That was my final that was my final mock exam for English before the actual exam. And I got a B. But of course that wasn't going to be the real exam, was it? Oh, no, of course. Instead, when it came to and somebody, I won't say who, but some of you'll be able to guess who it is. Somebody who also was resitting English with me got a 0, a U, essentially, ungraded. Because he was too busy messing about listening to a certain concert by a certain musical artist. I'll let you lot connect the dots. Right? So the prediction for going into the actual exam is I'd do really well and he wouldn't. But it's never that simple, is it? Instead, I'd do the exam, and this story I've actually told you guys before in my Why Mock Exams Are a Waste of Time 2018 video, the second episode I made of it, the 2018 one. And I ended up going to get my results, and I got a 3 for the whole overall. A 3 is essentially equivalent to a D, meaning I'd failed. Again. Even though I did so super well in all of the previous mock exams for that year, when it came to the real thing, What a surprise, it all goes wrong. The funny thing is, what I thought I would pass, I didn't, and what I thought I wouldn't pass, I did. So that was the start of it. Of having why I don't have much self-confidence, and why I always assume the worst in every situation. Every scenario, I always immediately go to worst case scenario. This is how that started. Because I was very confident I was going to pass. Going to pick up my results, and I was like, right, I've definitely passed English. Sorry for the background noise, I can't do anything about that. So I was like, right, I'll go get my results and I'll have passed English. Then, of course, get my results and I haven't. And do you know what rubbed it in even more? Well, some of you who were around back in 2018 already know why, because I've told you before. Because that certain somebody who got a U in his mock exam ended up passing the damn thing when it came to the real one. I went from a 4 to a 3. He went from a 0 to a 4 in one go. So yeah, that really was rubbing it in. The fact that I'd actually put in the effort and not gotten anything out of it. He'd put in no effort and got everything out of it. This is why I hate when teachers say whatever you put in, you get back when it comes to exams. That's a lie. That is a complete lie. That is not factually based whatsoever. That's just an opinion. There's no basis to prove that to be true. There really isn't. And the example I've just given you is proof that you don't. That no, there is no guarantee that what you put in, that you get back what you put in. That's not guaranteed at all. Because I got back significantly less than what I put in, and he got back significantly more than he ever put in. So that was the first one, and the second one came just the following year, in 2019. Now, it was around late February, early March. So there was I'd switched colleges by this point, and I met this girl who was already going to the college I switched to, and she'd had a bad experience with the person from my first story of this video. Some of you will be able to connect these dots very, very well and understand exactly what I'm talking about, despite how cryptic I'm being about it. So she'd had a bad experience with the person from the first story. So I decided to cheer her up. And over the course of that college year, I spent quite a lot of time with her in college and outside of college, but I spent a lot of time in college with her. Some of you will probably have figured out who this is by now. So we got on really well, and I was thinking, in due time, maybe, just maybe, in a few months' time, as we'll give it time, we'll spend more time together over the next few months, and we should be able to, in terms of getting on, we clicked very straight away. And we still hang out. We still hang out now. Almost 3 years later. So I'd spent quite a bit of time with her in college. After the horrible experience she had with the person from StoryNote, from the first story of the video, that she came to hang out with me a lot more all the time in college whenever we weren't in class. And I was pretty happy. I really, really enjoyed it. And if you guys watch my 2019 year in review video, you'll understand why why this made me so happy. So it came to the summer, and I was like, right, I'm gonna see if she wants to hang out again, and when we do, at some point during that time, I am going to ask her out. And this is the point where I thought, I've never gotten on as well with anybody of the opposite gender. Never before, ever. And I had people telling me this is going to go well. People kept on telling me, friends and family kept on telling me that it's going to go well with her. And that they were giving me confidence in the fact that maybe that me and her would end up dating soon. You can see where this is going, can't you? So we didn't actually end up hanging out to do that because of something else that happened that ended up really annoying me at the time. But then all of that got sorted. But there was always doubt, no matter how many times people told me it was going to go well, and my confession was going to go well, no matter how many times I was told over the span of a few months that it was going to go well, I always had a little bit of doubt in my mind that it wasn't going to go well. And that's because of the first story I told in this video. Because of that is why I still had doubt in my mind about this, even though it seemed it was going really well, and it seemed something I want to happen would actually happen. But of course, life ain't that fair, is it? And it was like, no, that's not happening. So I basically, instead of confessing, I told her that I was going to, but of course the thing that annoyed me that has been sorted out at the time is why I decided not to. But I told her that's what I was going to do. And the conclusion to that story is we didn't end up dating, and instead we're just good friends and have been for the last 3 years. But yeah, those are my 2 stories of why my self-confidence ain't so great. Because every time in the 2 times in my life so far where I've thought, so this is going to go really well, it never has. This is why I always jump to worst case scenario for things. Because if you do that, if you jump to worst case scenario for something and it's not worst case scenario, bonus, that means it's good. Because if the worst thing that you're thinking of could happen and it doesn't, that's a good thing. Whereas if the worst thing you're thinking of does happen, you're not disappointed because you were already thinking it. But that's gonna be it for this video. My first second channel video in 8.5 months. Hope you guys have enjoyed. Please let me know in the comments if you have any of these self-confidence issues or things that have happened that have made your self-confidence go down or up even. I want to hear both sides. People with stories where they're not as confident as they used to be because of something, or they are more confident than they used to be because of something. I'd quite like to know. But if you guys have enjoyed this video, and you're happy to see the second channel finally get an upload again, please be sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're new, and until next time, catch you later.